am here to pick acorns because I want to do some dyeing of yarn with acorns. Autism. What? That is so cool! I was very confident in the math that I did yesterday. I'm trusting the math. Good morning. It is a chilly morning and I am heading into town to pick up some stuff, and among them is my next dyeing project, or the materials for it, I should say. So let's get going. I'm now in the city and I am here to pick acorns because I want to do some dyeing of yarn with acorns, which is going to be my last dyeing project before I want to start knitting the actual sweater. So I'm very excited and I am impatient to find more acorns. Now it's not quite the best time for picking acorns because there aren't that many yet, because it's not that late in autumn yet. But I'm impatient to start with the sweater. I've already, yesterday I ordered the knitting needles for it, and why are they all broken? People need to stop stepping on the acorns. I'm aiming for like half of this bucket full of acorns if I have the patience for that, picking that many. So this is gonna take a while. Okay, I have picked like maybe a quarter of the bucket, but I'm tired. I do not want to do this anymore. And also, if I thought that filming myself in public was bad, I had not considered filming in public while picking acorns in a public place, basically a park, while bunches of teenagers walk past continuously on their way to and from gym class. This was the confidence I needed today. Lovely. I'm finally home, so tired. Let's see how many acorns we got as they fit into this pot. I mean, it's a decent amount. It's like half the pot. So I think this will be okay to start soaking. And I can't start dyeing with it today because they're really hard acorns and they need to get time to let out all their juices, their dye stuff. So I'm going to soak them overnight and start the actual heated dye extraction process tomorrow. The amount of tiredness that I feel still, like 2 hours after I got home from the trip to the city, is unreal. True, I did quite a bit in the city. Like, I went to so many places. It took me like including the acorn picking. I spent like 2.5 hours in the city, like just running errands and doing things, and I just got so tired from this that like I even put on like sports clothes right after getting back home to go and do some work in the garden as my sports activity for the day, like after I go, like after I walk the chickens. But I'm like so tired. Like I like this entire 2 hours I have been so tired that I feel like my entire body vibrating from the exhaustion of just running errands, and it's so annoying. I wanted to do things, I wanted to get things done, and instead I'm just lying on the couch, like hoping that I will feel better soon and that I can actually get some things done in the garden, because I'm supposed to do like several times a week sports activities to feel better for my stupid mental health. And instead, if I want to go to the city just once a week, as I do, because COVID safety, it just wrecks me this badly. I don't know if this is like because of my long COVID that I am just so incredibly tired, or if I would have been this tired even before I got COVID. It's just, I'm annoyed. And lately I have been sharing mostly the positive stuff about my life, like my hobbies only. But life is not all highlights. So I am sharing this with you as well. Good morning. I thought that I could be smart and start the acorn simmering process while I ate breakfast, but I forgot about it. So now it's boiling. That's not good. Ah. I hope that the dye isn't ruined by the boiling, because like it's not really good to boil your dye stuff. You're supposed to simmer it and not quite let it boil. But I'm not gonna go back to town and find like pick all the acorns again to do this all again. We're gonna work with what we have and hope that it still works. So now the plan is to have it simmer down and put it to simmer, not boil, for a couple hours at least. Maybe like, I think 4 hours would be good, because it's because I want to like simmer this for longer than I would other like more soft plant stuff that I would dye with, because this is like hard stuff that needs more processing to get the same amount of dye out. So yes, I messed up, but maybe it'll be okay. Well, I heated the pot of acorns and water for I think about 3 hours, and then I let it cool down for like 2 more hours while I walk the chickens and myself. So now it is time to scoop the acorns. So since this is the amount that we have left of the liquid, I think I'm gonna add like just water to it, so that all the yarn that I want to dye can have more space to freely move around. It's not going to dilute the dye too much, I hope. And now I add the yarn, which has been soaking in like some other water for like some hours. And the first one is going to be one of the sock yarns that I have once again tied in several places so that it will get white like spots in the yarn. So that's going first. I should actually remove this long thing that's going to just get in the way. Ah. Then I am putting in 2 of the regular Fair style sweater yarns, which haven't actually been mordanted, because the acorns are a really cool dye source in the, and because I don't know why, but for some reason the amount of tannins that is in the acorns replaces the need for a mordant. So I don't know if the tannins act as a mordant or something, but it's somehow related to tannins, and mordant is not needed. And because that is not enough, I'm adding 2 more skeins of the Fair sweater yarn, but this is the yarn that I tried to dye with the mushrooms and failed at. So it's like a little bit more beige looking, but I don't want beige yarn. I want either brown or hopefully gray yarn. I'm hoping to leave 2 of the skeins of the sweater skeins as the regular acorn dye, which is supposed to be brown, and then the 2 other ones I'm hoping to modify with iron and get a gray out of it. So now I heat this up more gently than before, and I don't forget about it. Heat this up to 80 to 90 degrees and then keep it there for at least 2 hours. Yes. And while that yarn is simmering, or starting to simmer at the moment, I can finally start with the actual Fair Isle sweater. And I can do that because today I finally received my knitting needles. I got the Knit Pro Regal set, which has like the detachable, like a whole lot of different size needles with the detachable string that attaches to it. Not sponsored. I wish. But and I'm gonna use these two contrasting colors to do the, like, because it's a colourwork sweater, so I'm doing the swatch with colourwork, but I just realized that I need to actually make these into balls first. So yeah. And this is a job that is more easy to do when you have two people, so that one person can hold it and the other can skein. But I will think of that. Think of something. This would be so much easier if I had one of those umbrella style skein holder things. One. And two. The second one was easier. I put this skein around the back of a chair and that worked. So I'm going to try this out with 5mm needles. I don't know if it's the correct choice. We shall see. That's why I'm doing a swatch. And I'm also going to start with the first of my patterns of my list of patterns that I want to use for my sweater, which I will do the choices in color later. That's going to be a bigger project. And yes, just for right now, I'm doing a swatch of like 22 stitches. And this is going to be like the first time I have knit anything in like 3 years. So I'm a little bit intimidated. Yeah, we shall see how this goes. Okay, how did I? Okay, you do this. Wait, no, that did not work. Oh, yes, that works. 2, 3. In any case, I am following the colourwork instruction video from Sorceress Crafts, and I will link that video down below. If I forget, please remind me, because that is incredibly informative, and like it shows everything that you need to know about stranded colourwork. And because like I have tried stranded colourwork before, but I haven't. But back then I didn't know anything about color dominance, so it was a bit messy. But yes, watch the video by Sorceress Crafts if you want to know more about color dominance, but like from an expert. And I will be following said expert, and I will let you know how the swatch goes. It's going. And I'm keeping the dangly bits because I am only knitting the like right side, so that after each line I just zoop and do it again from this side, because I'm going to be knitting in the round, so I'm not going to be doing the color work on like the wrong side here. So I always have this side facing me, and I'm excited. This is becoming slightly less intimidating. Like at first I was anxious because it's been a while since I've knit anything, and this is like like the start of a big and ambitious project. This is fun. I think I've knit enough of the swatch to make decisions based upon it. It's definitely a much thicker yarn than the pattern that I want to do, and I want to do. Wait, I've forgotten the name. I will tell you the name. I will show you the pattern here. It's one of those free drops patterns, and because this is a much thicker yarn than what the pattern calls for, I will have to be doing a lot of math to determine what size I want to actually knit, because the test swatch should be the width so that you have 21 stitches equaling 10 centimeters, but for me 21 stitches is equal to 12 centimeters, so I will have to take that into account. Although I know that I do want the sweater to be pretty oversized, so that's going to be helping me. And also, however, I am really off gauge with the actual length of the swatch, because the pattern calls for 28 lines to be 10 centimeters, but I only need 18 lines to make a 10 centimeter height. So that will have to have several adjustments to, I will have to adjust the pattern quite a bit, but it's gonna be fine. Math is my thing. Totally. But the gauge wise, like I think, like at first I thought that the 5 centimeter needles would be too small, but I'm actually pretty happy with what the fabric is looking like. It's like springy and it's not too dense. So I think I will actually be using the 5 centimeter needles for this sweater, or like the knit part of the sweater at least. I will have to use smaller needles for the ribbing, both like on the hips and the collar. And I know that you should really block your swatches, but I'm not going to do that. Like, because I want to reclaim the yarn, and if I want to reclaim the yarn and block a swatch, then I would have to re-wet it after the blocking and then dry it, and then you have to dry it twice with the blocking as well, and it's just no. So I will have to do maths. I'm happy with how this is looking, and in addition to maths, I will have to basically skein up my entire yarn stash, which is going to take a while, and then I will have to do the very autism task of looking at all the colors and coming up with what colors I want to pair for the different patterns, and like what order I want to have them in. So that's going to be, like, I'm really looking forward to that part of it. I will let you know the results of that as soon as I can, but I can't really start with the color pairing up before I finish the acorn dye yarn, because that's going to produce me four new skeins of 2 different colors more. So first, the skeining up. That's going to be today's task, and also finishing the acorn yarn, and then maybe hopefully by tomorrow evening that will be dry, and then I can do the autism part. Like since I was little, I have been really into colors. And it's been a very autistic trait of mine that, like, you know, when like one of the autism assessment questions is that is if when you were a child, did you used to line up your little like toys and stuff in a line? I didn't do that, but I have always, every single time that I use colorful anything for a project, be it markers, pencils, like ink pens, I always have to order them by the colors of the rainbow before I can start anything. Every single time. I still do that. So, like, organizing colorful things is something that tickles my brain so well, and that I am really looking forward to doing that. It's going to be a Friday night treat for me. Okay, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but I found that there are 2 different tones of brown going on. One of them is like this more rosé looking brown, and one is like more just yellow brown. And I'm not sure if it's the pre-mushroom dyed yarn, which is the pre-mushroom dyed yarn of those 2. So I'm thinking, if I'm going to remove the regular brown yarns now, then I want to see what both of those browns look like when they're dry. So I'm going to try and remove one of each type of brown. And that is going to be tricky, because after several hours of simmering and constantly moving them around, they are quite embedded in each other. Okay, so this is one of the more red browns, attached to a long bit. Ooh! And the yarn that's made for socks looks completely different. It looks like a lot more light brown. But I'm going to keep it in here for a little while longer, because I want to try making like a little bit, like a small amounts of it, gray with the iron water. So yes, my search continues. Is this one skein? I can't even tell. Maybe? I'm going to say that this is one skein. Okay, I've separated two, so I'm gonna give them a wash in hot water that will gradually get colder so that I don't felt it with a sudden change in temperature. I'm going to like rinse it until the water that comes out of it is no longer brown, thwack it and set it to dry, and then we will do the iron water stuff. Okay, I decided I'm going to do the iron water experimentation in the little pot instead of the big one because I don't want to use up all of my iron water turning this entire thing like a different color. So I'm just using enough of the dye water to cover the yarn that I put here, and I'm gonna get rid of this, and then it's time for the iron water. So when I say iron water, I mean just like a bunch of like rusty iron chains that have been sitting in a 1 to 2 mixture of vinegar and water for like a couple months at this point. And because I want, oh, this is hot, I want to make dots on some parts of this with the iron water. I'm going to start with this. It is so hot. And just pour it. I'm gonna bring you closer so it's more interesting for you. Okay, my goal with the iron water for the sock yarn is to only get these ends irony. So let's do it. It's looking completely different. It's like gray, exactly what the internet said it would be. And on the other side. And I'm going to quickly rinse this off now, and the rest of the iron solution has gone into the rest of the pot, which is already turning gray. Oh wow, this is like black. What? That is so cool. I don't even think it needs any more iron. So I can put all of this into the sink for rinsing now, because if I let the yarn sit in iron water for too long, then it will get weird feeling. Now this is proper Spooktober. This is like the third rinse and it's still so dark. Oh my god, that is so cool. So there is like a nice way to get the black or gray, whatever this is going to turn out to be, that actually does not involve getting wool from a black sheep. That is so cool. I'm so looking forward to seeing what this is going to dry like. And the sweater yarn gets thwacked. Get all the fibers nicely aligned. Also helps get rid of some of the water. Oh wow, this is a mess. It's going to be fun to untangle. Ha ha ha. So you all better be dry by tomorrow, or I will be disappointed. Good afternoon. The yarn is almost dry, but dry enough to finally see what the final colors are. And boy, oh boy, are there many of them colors. First of all, we have the two different browns, which are looking so different from what I thought that they would be. Like, I thought that the browns would be darker, but at the same time they are quite dark already. So maybe they are as dark as I thought they would be. So, but basically, what I am most surprised about is the difference in their color, which comes from me having dyed or attempted to dye this one previously with the mushrooms, but it didn't take. It just got slightly beige or something. But apparently, if you mix the non-existent mushroom dye and then over dye it with acorns, you get this sort of greenish brown or like yellowish brown compared to the regular brown, like more reddish brown that you get when you you use just the acorns. And also, this is it in the sunlight, it's not the best. Yeah, it shows the color better in the shade. And this is like a very lovely brown. I'm really, really happy with this brown. This is like eh, not the prettiest, but I'm happy that I experimented with both. And now they only need to dry a little bit more, and then I can wind these up into balls as well. I've been winding up so many yarn balls. It's it's taking so long, and it's so annoying. Like, I definitely understand why people get yarn winders now. Like, I need to start winding yarn into balls as I finish making the yarn, and not attempt to make it like wind them all into balls in one go, because oh my goodness, I'm gonna lose my mind if I have to wind this many balls at once again. But yes, back to the acorn yarn. And the other two skeins of the Fair Isle sweater yarn I modified with iron, and those turned out pretty much black. Like, they are such a dark gray that they're pretty much black, and these two vary in color only by a very small amount. You can see that this one is a little bit more yellow than this, so I'm assuming that this is the one that was previously attempted to dye with the mushrooms that didn't turn out to be the red dye mushrooms that I wanted them to be. But yes, the difference in these two is not that massive, and it's so cool to see that it's possible to get pretty much black yarn from just acorns and iron water without the need for having an actual black sheep. So that's really cool. And and all of these colors are visible in the sock yarn that is over here. And the stripes that I did for the white dots, they didn't turn out to be as white as I thought they would be. For some reason, the acorn dye seeped through the ties like a lot more than any other dye has. So that was interesting to see. But also, it's another thing that's interesting to see is that the combed wool yarn that is this like a sock yarn took the dye a lot less than the other one. Like, this is the same wool. This is just the difference in preparation. Like, this one is 2-ply that has been carded, and this is 3-ply that has been combed previously. So just the difference in like the method of preparation of before even starting to like spin the yarn, it makes such a difference in the color that it turns out as, which is incredible to see. But yes, the sock yarn also has these spots that like these two areas that I made that are done with the iron water and are more gray than the black of the other wool method of preparation. So yes, we have so many different colors. I'm gonna show you all of them together. Like, such a variety, like so many different colors. Oh, and now I can finally start with the like proper color matching with the pattern for the sweater, which I've been really looking forward to. I have been having the best time matching up all the colors and the contrasts and just planning. It has been the most premium experience of autism happiness in the form of planning creative things, and the result is this. So the sweater itself is going to be a raglan, and I don't know how the patterns are going to work with the decreases and stuff. That's something that I'll figure out later, because it is a bottom up sweater. So I will be starting with like the same amount of stitches for a long period of time. So So the bottom of it is going to be ribbing that I want to do with two colors, pink and white, like here, and this will only be used for the sleeves. So initially the sweater will have pink and white ribbing instead of this, and then this will be the body of the sweater, and then with the sleeves we have this addition to make them longer. I am so happy. I am so happy. And I don't know if I'm gonna start the sweater today or tomorrow, but I just had to share how joyful I am feeling at the moment. Okay, I got this onto the longer cord. This is the 120 centimeter cord, and I have deduced that it is indeed way too big. So I have to redo my math, and I'm going to go at least one size down, maybe more. So yeah, it's time to frog. Like, I was very confident in the math that I did yesterday. I have a plan. It's very different from the original pattern, but I think it's gonna work. So I think that the problem is that I didn't do a test swatch for the ribbing. And I think that because I'm using like such a significantly thicker yarn than the pattern calls for, it affects the ratio of ribbing stitches to like regular knit stitches for the body. So I'm going to adjust the ribbing stitch count. So if the original, the original count for the ribbing for my size, and I am confident that the test swatch that I did for the knit part of the body that is not the ribbing, I'm confident in the math for that. So I'm going to keep that stitch count the same, and will do the body after the ribbing in that size that I initially set out to do. Just I'm going to do way less stitches for the ribbing. So if initially I had to do 306, initially I had to do 334 stitches for the ribbing, then if I look at the circumference that I want the body part to be, and then treat this as a ribbing test swatch and measure like the stitch count for this, then I need to do, instead of 332 stitches for the ribbing, I need to do 262.8, but that's nothing. So I'm going to try again, and then hope that my maths, I guess. Good morning. It is the next day. I have done a lot of knitting because it's the weekend and I am very much hyper focused, and I'm even like, I wanted to get some knitting in before I even start making breakfast, so that is like worrisome slightly, but I have reached the point where I have the 7 centimeters needed of ribbing, and it's looking like a decent size this time, not the elephant size that I made first, and I'm so happy with it. I'm so happy with it. Look at it. We're starting at the yellow and brown with these two. It's not a very high contrast part, but that's okay. Also, I have decided that I will be doing one size smaller than I originally thought, and I will be also modifying that size because I want the repeats of the pattern to work out better. Like most of the patterns that I have on the big page are repeats of 10. So and the one bigger pattern that I have is a repeat of 14. So I can't reach quite that because that's a more tricky number, especially to find with 10. So I am going to make the body with 260 stitches instead of 256. So I'm hoping that a difference of 4 stitches is not going to be too massive, and that means that I only have to decrease the amount of stitches that I have for the ribbing by 2 stitches, which is interesting. Like, I'm used to ribbing like bunching together on its own much more than this is doing. Maybe it's to do with the like handspun yarn that is like more fluffy, and that's like making it not do the ribbing thing that it usually does, but I'm trusting the math. Which might not be a good idea, but good morning. I know the lighting is not optimal, but I don't feel like moving. It is Tuesday, and I have been knitting the sweater since since Saturday. And because I have been spending every single moment of my free time knitting, I am making a decent amount of progress. And I am still really enjoying making this. Oh, a little bit of float porn for you. Like, I think that either today or tomorrow I might reach the 35 centimeter mark of the length that is needed to start the armhole part of this. I've never done like the armholes on a project like this, so I will have to look at some videos on the Drops website that show how things are done. But what I want to say at the moment is that this is the first row that I'm on that has 3 colors instead of 2. It's this row here that has the yellow, brown, and white, and ooh, is it a brain scratcher? It's like it requires so much concentration, and it's like it's such a nice challenge. I'm really enjoying this. Like truly, I've been waiting a year to do this project, and it's finally happening, and it's so great. So yes, while I'm not going to be finishing the entire sweater this video, I will definitely keep you up to date with it, and hopefully it will be done soon so that I can start wearing it, but also I want to continue having fun with it, so I don't want to stop knitting it. But that is the knitting life, I guess, that I am not just now getting into after years of not knitting at all. But all that's left to say for this video is that I have started a Ko-Fi account where you can buy me a coffee if you want to. No pressure at all. It's just something that I'm doing because I don't quite have the statistics on my channel to monetize it yet, but I do put a decent amount of effort into these videos. So yes, I hope to see you in the next one and that you enjoyed watching this video. Bye!